Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Chef's Meal, where we talk about whatever and never and everything else in between. Let's do it. Okay. All right, let's do it. I'm going to do the intro. Now, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another Chef's Meal. My name is Casey.
My name is Sean, and we're two chefs talking about our lives, one finished plate at a time.
Now we're talking about whatever and ever.
And everything in between.
Sean, happy Friday. It is...
Yeah, man.
Friday the 13th, actually. November.
Yeah, it is.
13th. My wife, nonchalant, yesterday, she came home. She's like, "Did you know tomorrow's Friday the 13th? I'm gonna get a tattoo." I'm like, "No, you're not." It's like, I'm trying to find deals. I'm like, "Babe, that's not gonna happen."
They have deals on tattoos?
Yeah, on like Friday, like on the weird, on like Halloween or like Friday the 13th, because they're all
so
they're
interesting.
All hipsters.
I don't. Is that okay? Well, shout out to
I'm
your
pretty
wife
sure that's
for
the thing.
wanting to indulge in that way. I mean, I would just. I don't have any tattoos. I definitely respect anyone who has them, but it just seems like something that like you would plan out to do, right? Like,
well, I mean, that depends on the person, I guess. To each their own. I'm assuming. I mean, I planned myself. Right. I think a good year before I had mine, and that was a lot of saved money too and everything. But yeah, Sean, have you noticed? I have a new one joining the party. Look at this.
I did. I was
waiting
for you to tell me the story.
Okay, so the prime rib decided to fall, and my dumbass, of course, not gonna let the pan fall. I let my arm grab the hot pan that's 400 degrees and pull it right back up. I'm like, that's gonna hurt later. So, Sean,
it's gonna hurt now.
I mean, it got seared, so technically, it's like it's fine. Like I'm okay. Like it hurt that moment, but it's just like this one. Remember this one? Well, you can't see that one. That's like shadowed. That one got seared.
I remember when you
got
that one.
That one also did not hurt. After it only started to hurt when it started to bubble, like later when like stuff was coming out of it. But during
so how
the
did
act
you treat yourself for this one in the moment?
I was like, well, that sucks. Just kept going. I didn't do anything. I was like, that's gonna hurt later. It didn't. It just, like I said, it's seared. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you are wondering what seared means, when you have a really hot surface, aka your pan that's like smoking, and you put like a steak on there, and you just let it go. That's searing. So you're locking in the juices. Technically, my Asian juices got locked in there, and it didn't want to come out. So soy sauce is probably stuck in there.
A good sear is gonna have a nice crust to the surface.
It kind of looks like a crust, right? Sort of,
right?
The
flesh of whatever you're searing.
Yeah. Don't do that. I'm not trying to do this just because I want to. It's just, I mean, it's either the food going into the floor or I save it. So I save it.
I was like, it's either searing your arm or coupon codes for tattoos.
Sean, it's prime rib. This shit is like $85 a fucking pound. It's not. That's exaggerating. But that's how much we sell the damn thing, and I'm not gonna let it go on the floor. Either my arm or the prime rib. I'm like, the prime rib. So
how many more prime ribs they got in the walk-in? No,
nothing. We sold it all.
They had none. I was gonna say how many more arms you got in the walk-in.
So we made 2 loaves, not loaves, but it was 2 loins. So it was 16 orders altogether. Sold it all.
Okay. 8 a piece or 16 per piece?
It was 11 on one piece and 5 on one piece.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
And it's like 32 ounces per order. It was insane. I was just like, this is unnecessary, but they're paying $85, so we don't care. So
hey,
just going ahead.
Right.
It is
for $85, serve it to me on a hubcap. Like, let's get it.
It doesn't matter. My wife did wanted to tell everybody really quickly, so she went to Trader Joe's. Sean had the brunt of it a little earlier. Was it the almond what? The
You
almond.
want me to say?
Do you have it? Do you?
I wrote it down.
Okay.
It was peppermint mocha almond creamer from Trader
There you
Joe's,
go.
is what you said.
The peppermint mocha almond creamer is the one of the best things that Trader Joe's has made. Their in-house product. This is only it appears during this time of season, so you can only get it, and it's quite delicious. If you're looking for a pepperminty flavored mocha alternative to
It's
milk.
just the Cadbury egg of coffee creamers. Pastel
Sean,
M&Ms.
it is delicious. I swear to God, like go buy it for V, or V will
I
probably
always
know about it
cherish
already.
any appearance of Caitlin on the pod and even in the pre-pod, but like she hopped in guns blazing, like
She was
you
strong.
strong.
Yeah, she
I
was
was like, all right,
strong.
let me take a note right here. And like I don't have a
It is
Trader
quite good.
Joe's right nearby, but sometimes we move
Mm-hmm.
around and we come across one. Should we happen to come across one this weekend, we'll
She just said
definitely.
she'll send you one.
She's gonna say.
Oh my God. So anyway, a little bit more news. It is slower season in our restaurants, no matter where you are. And I do want to get this right out of the way, Sean. So before we kind of do talk, let me bring this up to the screen. This is live currently Thursday, yesterday. All of New Jersey. I'm not sure about New York as of right now, but New Jersey COVID
Yeah,
restrictions.
It's coming here soon enough.
It's soon, right? Yeah, yeah. Will force bars and restaurants to close earlier than usual. So before it was open till 12 or 1. Now Governor Murphy is putting everything at 10 p.m. That's it. You cannot go past 10. The bar seats can be closer, and if you are outside, the stools can be closer, but it needs to have a shield in the middle of it or some kind of bubble or whatever. There's no type of contact. More necessarily because we have a definite increase in pandemic right now, and even
Yeah,
though we
man.
are
Like
25% capacity,
170,000
yeah,
cases today.
it's quite
We're
a
number
bit.
one, guys. We did it.
Yeah, because New Jersey is stupid. Now, granted, like I said, 25% isn't sustainable for any business. However, it's
No.
not just for the business. This is this is affecting all of us. So we need to take precautions nonetheless. But
Yes.
if you have, hey, this is prime example of marketing, right, Sean? How would we, because we're not just restaurants, we're not just chefs, we're also restaurateurs and marketers. We need to push to goes. So let's you and I vamp out some ideas on how to push some to go ideas that will still encompass the menu and still kind of the same price point, but like to get more people to buy it. What would be some of your suggestions? What can you
Well, I
think
guess
of?
I guess if we're are we just talking about any any restaurant
Yeah, yeah,
or a
it just has to
particular
be any. Yeah, yeah,
restaurant?
yeah. So like I mean, mom and pop shops, whatever that needs to be dining, or even to goes that just already doing to goes, they need to do more of an output to sustain. But nonetheless, they still need to be able to adapt to the situation. That's what we're known as. The chefs needs to adapt. So this is what we have today. How can we cook this? This is in terms of food, but right now we are resourcing that to how can we make more sales using the vehicle of to goes so we can sustain the business. So what are some of your ideas?
Well, again, I guess it'll all really come down to the type of establishment that you're running. So personally, what I would be looking at is like, all right, like what are some of the more profitable things that we execute?
Mm-hmm.
And then also, all right, like of those things, what are going to be the best things that travel?
Correct.
Because like you could have a restaurant where like, some of your best menu items are things that like present well at the table,
Mm-hmm.
but don't necessarily like, they're going to be tasty,
Yeah.
but like they're not going to I won't say express like a premium experience on the way out. So
Correct.
the first thing I would be looking to do would be like to look up and down our menu and figure out what are some of those things that that can do that.
Mm-hmm.
And then once you you figure that out, the next thing I would be doing would be to look at our vendors and kind of see like what we can do to execute and also maintain profitability because you're going to be purchasing more to go
Correct.
flatware, silverware, packaging, and taking the time to do that. And I know, like, yeah, it just seems like you would be slapping it in a plastic container, but like now you need to be building in that in the price and pricing accordingly.
Yep. Yep. How about how do you feel about gift cards? Would that be something into
Well, yeah,
play?
gift cards. Yeah, like gift cards are always great because I mean they're great because they almost guarantee someone is coming back in your restaurant to
Mm-hmm.
spend money again in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they and because of that they just inspire loyalty.
Yep.
Beyond that, I mean, generally you're getting a loan when someone's buying a gift card.
That is
So,
true.
that can, right, like you sell them $25, and even if they don't come back and spend it for weeks or months, you're gonna gain some interest
Yep.
on this intangible thing that you sold,
Mm-hmm.
and get them back a little bit later. They present well, and typically, and this is just across all industries, if someone buys a gift card, they typically spend more than the
Yep.
gift card.
Correct. I would actually do vouchers also, not just the gift cards, an actual extra incentive, meaning like, hey, on your like fifth order to go, you get like a free side, like a premium side. Like I know we're taking a
Sure.
hit, but if I can get that same person to order 5 times, that covers XYZ for us.
Right.
That extra thing, not a big deal. If they ordered 5 times, hey, like bro, thank you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
And again,
these
you're building in the habit. If you're even in a program like that, you're kind of training your customer, that they should come to you for to go items. At
yeah.
the point they're doing it 5 times again. If let's say we're gonna just take a restaurant and that side was a cup of chowder. I don't know why, but let's just say it happened to be a cup of chowder. Yeah, it's $6 that you're giving away, but no one is coming in. Very few people are only gonna come back for that.
Correct.
They're gonna even if it's not like a tangible dollar amount that they're receiving, they're gonna come in and they're gonna get that chowder and they're gonna get something else.
Hmm.
So yeah, it's well worth it to have promotions like that, and especially if you were going to be giving away something like that. It's easy. Again, it's easy to execute, right?
Correct.
Heat up your chowder, ladle it
Hmm.
into a to-go cup. It's going to travel well. They're going to
Yeah.
have a relatively similar experience to something that they would have had inside your restaurant. And, hopefully, if you can weather the storm in business as well, you've conditioned people to understand that one of those things that you were good at, let's say that chowder,
Hmm.
is something they should be looking forward to in the future. So yeah, that's a really good idea,
Yeah.
to kind of keep customers in the fray. And then, if you have the infrastructure, obviously, to, do things like a Seamless or Grubhub, where,
Hmm.
just being in a marketplace for people that are looking for, delivery or takeout and pick up food is obviously a good place to be in.
Yeah.
And the key here, or the key thing here is like you need to provide a premium or above expectations
Correct.
experience.
Correct.
Like, hey, you can't mess up. Like, not that you should be messing up orders in your physical tangible restaurant, but like,
Hmm.
people are gonna take a bag of food that they've paid for and then walk away, and you're out of control of the experience at that point. You
Yeah.
don't get an opportunity to do a make good then. So you really got to knock it out the park
Hmm.
when you're serving customers in that capacity. So
Yeah. I would definitely just be like, hey, who is the PR guy for Chick-fil-A? Can I just talk to that person?
You need,
How do you guys do the
you
how do you
need
guys do the lines,
PR
the
guy
marketing?
for Wendy's, man. Like
Or Wendy's? That is true.
yeah, they're social managers, man. Like they keep it interesting, right? It's like Chick-fil-A is selling chicken sandwiches, Wendy's is selling square burgers, but they find ways to engage, with their prospective customers in a competitive space, right?
We just need the both of them. I would love to have just 5-10 minutes. Like, hey, what do you guys do? Just let me know. But yeah, like those are some of the methods that we would actually implement right away as chefs into our own buildings. Like without a doubt, this off the cuffs, but like granted the greatest hits menu, comprising it small. What do we have in hand right now? What we can sell faster and push it more efficient. Maybe have the staff outside literally in line so we can deliver this curbside. I don't know. Maybe add like an extra dollar fee for gratuity already, like just to cover plateware and expenses. I would do that exactly on all our menus. An extra dollar would cover all the plateware, like all the plasticware and all that stuff. A dollar goes a long way, and not too many people talk about that, Sean. But just increasing by a dollar, it's quite a bit to help out on economy.
Especially, when presented with the other realities of, having dining rooms at 25% or less, because again, that's 25% of your capacity if you were able to maintain
If you're able to,
So,
exactly.
right.
So hey,
If and again, like, hey, if you can transition to some sort of to go, delivery, takeout business, you're gonna make new customers there, and when your doors are open, you'll have customers to come in and sit down and have a good time too.
yeah, definitely. Oh, so it's all about adapting, people. Like it's such a weird predicament to be in a pandemic, but just like if it were our restaurant and all of a sudden our dish machine broke, or we ran out of
What?
some
When
kind
does
of
that happen?
or somebody mistakenly puts all of our ramekins in the oven with the green tray and it's decided to
With a
melt.
plastic green tray.
Who would decide to do that?
What?
Or
I don't
somebody
know,
made a
man.
mistake
That
on an
sounds
order.
Crazy.
Like we forgot a certain protein that we're doing a promo on that we completely forgot. We still have to make do and expect just to prepare for for hell and what we can do to turn it around. This is what
Like I
makes
said,
us
like the key is providing the best experience in the ways that you can control. And again, that's everything from producing the food, consistently, packing it off well, because if something were to go wrong, you're not going to be able to change it in the moment. Like it's going to be reflected in public spaces in which you don't have any control. It's going to be a review on the website. It's going to be word of mouth, to other people that could have been customers. And, like I said before, unlike when situations happen in your restaurant, like, you're not going to have someone who can, make things right or make a correction or make a better experience like right then and there.
So hey, not too crazy. Hopefully that gives you guys some ideas if you are owners and you are restaurateurs. Sean will give us just some straight up facts from the both of us. This is what we do in our restaurants.
Hey man, it's
if
been
stuff
very,
goes
very
awry,
interesting to watch, the major players, the small mom and pop shops, try to adapt to, these realities. I mean, here in the city, a lot of restaurants that had space up in front of their buildings kind of extended their seating out into the streets. Built up gazebos, tried to make an experience outside. It had freestanding bars to kind of serve people that walked up. the fact that you can't open carry in New York, but whatever, we can worry about that. They were still making they're making it work. I go into my local like mom and pop Chinese restaurant, and like beyond just the plexiglass
Yeah.
menagerie that they normally have set up, they got like all sorts of different systems to you know um, serve food in the safest way possible.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is like you just gotta adapt. You gotta adapt and keep things safe and consistent and build the trust, because that's what all consumers want. Like they
Yeah.
just want to know that, like, hey, they're putting their money into something, and then it's being produced with a level of value and care that they're expecting. And hey man, if you got the opportunity to give more, and charge accordingly, then that's what you should be doing. But it's got to be consistent.
Correct. Extra dollar, people. That's the key. That's your key fact. Extra dollar for your RDM plasticware. If you are doing an upsurge of to goes, that will cover. I promise you, it will cover your expenses. That extra dollar. A dollar goes a long way. Sean, we're gonna go into Sean's Tech Tuesday. Not really a Tuesday. It's more of a
Man.
Friday.
It's a Friday, but it's a Friday on an interesting weekend in tech.
Sean's Tech Tuesday, yo. Sean can't hear this right now.
Yeah, I can't. I'm just vibing.
Sean's Tech Tuesday.
Sean's Tech Tuesday on a Friday the 13th.
Friday, not a Tuesday. Friday the 13th. Yeah. So, look, the
I'm
major
so
move in
excited
tech
for this.
this week was the release of the latest generation of video game consoles. Earlier in the week, the Xbox Series S and Xbox Series X released. I believe that was on Tuesday. And yesterday, the PlayStation 5 released in the United States. And, I can give I didn't get an Xbox, but I can give my hands-on impressions of the latest PS5.
Sean, tell me all about it, Sean. Did you play it?
All right. So, all of 20 minutes. That's
Oh, man. That's okay.
Hey,
That's
man.
better than none. That's better than none.
But
We'll take it.
In those 20 minutes, I have enough of an impression of like where they're attempting to go. So, if you haven't seen PS5, it is a big ass console. Like these pictures,
Pretty big.
You need to see
Can I
it
get a
like relative to
comparison?
some
Hold
other
on.
stuff. Like yesterday, I sent Casey a photo of it up against the PlayStation 4 Pro, which was also a pretty decently sized thing. But this thing is giant, and that's not just because like the Sony engineers just wanted to make a statement. Like it's designed to be big so that it can have the appropriate size internal fans to keep that machine cool.
Here it is. Here's all of them.
Yeah. So yeah, if you guys are looking at the video feed, you can kind of see like the thing is big. It's by volume, it's actually the same size as the shorter Xbox Series X, but
It's
even
just
like
taller.
that console is designed where the fan is kind of like situated toward the top third of this console to push hot air out effectively. Like both of the machines are they produce some warm air. They got some
they
beefy
do.
graphics and yeah. I mean, nothing you're gonna burn yourself over, but I would definitely say if you move your hand over there, you're gonna feel some warm air. But they're trying to do a lot in their relatively small size and kind of produce graphics similar to what I would say right now is like a medium to high range PC. So yeah, so
It's
I guess
a PC.
I'll
Literally a PC.
yeah. So some of the highlights, I mentioned it before, but some of the highlights of the PS5 in particular. There's two models. One's $399. That one is all digital. It does not have a Blu-ray drive, and as such, you can't buy physical games for it.
Mm-hmm.
And then there is another one that does have a drive. That one is $4.99. It will take physical discs. Both of them will play games from your PlayStation 4. You can download them to the console, or if if you have the one with the drive, you can use your old discs. If you had an external hard drive, which I definitely suggest you get from one of these systems if you don't have it, you can just plug that up by USB and plug it in the back. So
Yep.
here's one big takeaway of these consoles. So both the PlayStation 5, they have 825 gigabytes of space. However, right, which sounds like a lot, right? Sounds like a lot. However, once you turn on the system and get things situated, that number gets cut down to about 667 gigabytes. Okay, so right, let's listen where we're going. All right. Some of the PlayStation 5 games, they can be pretty large. I mean, they got like increased graphics, all of this like increased fidelity for sound as well. So for example, NBA 2K21 uses like 120 gigabytes of space, right? The new Call of Duty uses like 230 gigabytes of space. So listen. So that's two games. Like and it's very, very possible if you were to get like one of these consoles today and a few games, you would run out of space.
Absolutely.
You can add additional hard drive space. There's a slot for an M2 drive. However, on the PS5, as of right now, Sony certified drives to fit inside there are not on the market. So I would definitely say is like, if you're gonna get a PS5, you definitely want to keep in mind that you're gonna need to upgrade the storage at some point. Maybe
almost
you're not
right
the type
away.
of person that's like, well, I guess it really depends on like how you're gonna use this thing. I mean,
That's true.
personally, again, I have two games. I got Miles Morales. I got NBA 2K. PS Plus was giving away Bug Snacks, which I haven't tried yet. And every PlayStation 5 console comes preloaded with this game called Astro's Playroom, which is really, really cool because it really shows off what like the new controller does. And I'll get into that in a sec. But yeah, even with those four games, and I'm not counting Fortnite or or the legacy of games that I have for the PS4, you literally could fill this up the first day.
And like literally just by having your old stuff transfer over.
Right. The transfer process is pretty smooth, right? You can do it in a few different ways. So for my PS4 Pro, I had my games on an external drive, so I just plugged that bad boy into the PlayStation 5. All that stuff is ready to go. Went to the into the menu. You can download your saves from the cloud. They transfer back over, and it's in there. And it's even better experience playing PS4 games on the PS5. Like some of them will have better frame rates. Some have patches for even more fidelity increases.
Yeah.
So that's cool. What else? I just feel like there's a lot to say about these things.
It's quite a bit. I mean, for both the systems, it's like similar already, so it doesn't matter
like
which one we're talking
they're
about.
They're both doing, like, for the Xbox and the PlayStation 5, they're both kind of trying to tackle the same problem or give you the same experience in different ways. The one thing I would definitely say, at least as far as today is concerned, at least within Xbox, if you have an external drive, you can store the newest Xbox games on those. You can't play them from there, but like you can kind of store them, so you're not like re-downloading things or reinstalling them from the disc. Should you have happened to get that model, the PlayStation 5, unfortunately, you can't do that as of today. So let me get into like the controller. So the controller is called the DualSense. Yeah. And the previous versions of the controller were called DualShock, and they were called DualShock because they had rumble, like rumble in the controller to kind of alert you to what was happening in real time to the game that you were playing. And while the DualSense also has rumble motors, they have like significantly increased fidelity. And they also have what are called haptic adaptive triggers. And this is something that's going to be kind of hard to explain how they work without you like physically touching the controller. But on the top of the controller, there are these four buttons, and the two to the that are on the back where your, I guess your middle, the way I'm thinking about it, where like your middle fingers would rest. They offer, depending on how the game is set up, they offer like real resistance. So I'll give you an example in the little couple of minutes that I got to try that out. So let's say you're playing NBA 2K and you're backing a guy down into the post. So in the past, like the controller would rumble to kind of say, hey, there's, give you the sense that like, hey, you just came up against some sort of force. The difference is like with this controller, independently in each trigger, the controller will actually like fight your ability to press the button.
Yeah. It's like real time sense, like as if you were like pulling a trigger.
Right.
Or
so like,
kind of...
right. So like almost like, you know, there is a force that is pushing back against your, you know, your intention. So perfect example, I'm playing a game, I'm backing down Mutombo with Shaq because I'm, you know, using some throwback Lakers against some throwback Sixers. I see my boy Iverson. And, you know, I'm backing Shaq down, or rather I'm backing Mutombo down, and I have one shoulder where the defender, where Mutombo is. So as I'm pushing against that shoulder, the controller is like fighting me, saying like, hey dude, he's standing firm here. The other side of the controller, there's no resistance. So hit that button and spin that way. Got to move to the basket.
Yeah.
You know, like, and it initially doesn't seem like much, and maybe the way I'm describing it doesn't really sell like how much of a game changer, literally a game changer it is. But like, that's, I think, gonna be something that's gonna set the PlayStation apart from the Xbox, all things considered. I mean, all these consoles that came out this week, they all do ray tracing for like increased lighting and shadows and all that. They all do 4K, they'll do 120 hertz, or, you know, all these bang whiz graphical features and, you know, sound features, you know, that should come from, you know, being replacing consoles that came out 7 years ago. But that feature with the controller is like, it's really
pretty insane.
And
it's insane.
Yeah. I mean, the game that I was saying that comes packed with the PlayStation Astral's Playroom literally is like designed to kind of teach you or show you the fidelity of what the controller does. And in addition to that, the PlayStation 5 supports 3D audio, and you don't need to buy any fancy headphones to use it. I mean, literally you can plug in any standard pair of headphones to the bottom of the controller,
and then you're good.
And it, again, I like feel it's hard to like explain without like people getting a chance to kind of try it out. It doesn't fake surround sound. Well, I guess it, I mean, obviously it does.
It does.
You know, but like the way it works differently is instead of like saying like, hey, there is something to the left of you, something to the right of you, and something behind you, like, I guess the technology is putting like kind of making like an auditory dome around like where your headspace would be, and then placing sound emitting objects in that space, and then kind of calculating that to give you the appropriate feedback.
Yeah, no.
And hey,
I can't wait
like,
to experience
if you're into like home,
crazy.
like if you're into home theater and stuff, like the closest to it is like Dolby Atmos. Yep. And pretty much what they do is they do surround sound in the way you would expect in like the movie theater, right? There's a speaker there, speaker there, speaker there, a few on the sides of you, and maybe with Dolby Atmos they put them in the ceiling. Yep, so let's say like it's a rainstorm, you're gonna hear raindropping from above your head on those speakers, and then we're, some cascading down on the speakers to, your left and your right, and maybe you'll get an appropriate rumble from a subwoofer somewhere to, kind of give you that sensation too. But with the PlayStation 5, they have something called the Tempest audio engine, and it's really, 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 really interesting. Again, like, I only had a few minutes to check it out with the NBA game, and like really felt like I was in a screaming arena with 15,000 people reacting to like all the stuff that was going on. It's like really, really cool, and it's almost so cool that I feel like it might have been something that they could have charged extra for.
Don't tell them that.
No. I mean, because hey, that's what these companies have done in the past, right? They'll say, "Hey, buy our
actually. That's true.
headset." Hey, you get this, blah 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 blah, and you can experience it. But it's like kind of cool that they implemented that on the ground floor. Like anyone with a regular pair of headphones can experience this, and they've said that they'll be extending that feature to the normal stereo output of like TVs, and then obviously if you have like the required home theater equipment, like you can get the benefits of that too. But yeah, that's something that like stands out. What else could I really say about the console in my limited amount of time thus far?
All in your 20 minutes.
The interfaces, all 20 minutes. Yeah, like the interface is interesting. Like they really make a big effort to put games first and foremost. When you log into the console, like there are these like live tiles that are on the bottom that can provide you with like all sorts of like information. Like let's say there's like a challenge happening in a particular game, like you kind of pull up the tile, press the button, and like it'll bring you right there in the game. And that's one of the benefits of the hardware in these consoles, is like with the SSDs that they have in there, like it pretty much eliminates load time. So like you press the button, and if you got the game downloaded on your console or the disc in the drive, if you have that one in particular, just pulls you right there. It's very, very interesting to see like what they've designed, and it's going to be really interesting to kind of see what developers do with these technologies going forward. I mean, some of the games that have come out thus far, they're visual upgrades on existing ideas, right? Like Ratchet and Clank, there's a whole bunch of those. Sackboy's a little Big Planet game. NBA 2K, you can get it for PlayStation 4. Like the basketball is the basketball, but it'll be interesting to see like what happens when skilled developers take the technology that differentiates the two machines beyond just like the increased graphics, and kind of like caters to that. So yeah, that's those are some of my impressions. And then aside from that,
so like good, bro.
It looks cool. I think that they need to do another pass as far as usability with the way some of the other menus are laid out, like because effectively it has like all of the stuff that's in like the PlayStation 4, but it's like you see in that screen right there, like instead of having the row on top on the PlayStation 4 with all the particular icons, they're on the bottom, right? And even like things like turning off the machine is just like, I feel like it's like one more button press
correct
than it should be than it was before. But I imagine that the UI engineers are going to be listening to all the millions of people that just got these things, and making the adjustments necessary.
It switches that quick,
dude.
What
like it just
is going on?
You're in
well,
there.
it's
like,
a PC. I keep forgetting. Like
right. You gotta imagine, and like in the case of the PS5, like it has a SSD that. It's a Gen 4 SSD, so most PCs don't even have these things, and correct. It's not bloated. Like the operating system's not bloated with like Windows. No, it's just, this machine is just for games. And your media apps. But it's gaming first and forthright. So like everything is designed about being able to do that. Oh, the other thing too, pro tip,
Damn.
the controller has a microphone in it. So hey, if you don't want people all in your business, turn off the mic. Turn off the mic. Or if you're like me and you have, a baby who is very vocal, right? For the sake of everybody else, turn your
You
mic
can turn
off.
off.
Turn
It's
it off.
true.
But
It's true.
yeah, yeah, it's like really cool. I mean, I haven't tried some of the other features. Like they have like a built-in
Damn.
hint system where like, hey, if you're getting stuck in a game, you pull up those tiles and they'll give you like a video
Hint.
hint. Yeah,
Wow.
like and it's a clever, from what I understand, it's a cleverly designed system. So it's not going to give you a hint with spoilers,
But just enough to get you
and yeah, and it's
sort of
updated in real
close.
time. So it's not gonna, if you're stuck in a particular part of the game, it's gonna try to point you in the right direction.
Wow.
And then the last feature that I didn't realize is that if you have a PS5 and you have a PS4, you can remote play into your PS5 from your PS4. So
Oh,
if you're
wow.
planning to upgrade and slap that, maybe keep your PlayStation around, put that PS4 on another TV, and yeah, you can use it to kind of remote in and play your stuff. So yeah, those are my
Yo,
impressions of the system. I wouldn't tell everyone to go out and get it today,
you
but
should.
I think and this is just the case of like most like new emerging tech. It's gonna grow and improve with time.
Yep.
They're selling everyone that they can produce right now. They're gonna be hard to get through the holidays to some measure. Seems like stock has been kind of like trickling in and out of today. So like if you knew where to look, you could probably like find one. But I would not say like, hey, rush out and get one of these things. But in a couple of months, by next year this time, I think these systems will mature in better ways in terms of usability, and they'll have more unique software that kind of caters to their strengths.
Yeah.
That doesn't really really like show off the graphics. Like I'm looking forward to spending some time with Miles Morales. 'Cause that one looks really really cool, and also kind of getting into like some of the PS4 backlog that I didn't play, mostly because
Oh.
my PS4 Pro sounds like a hair dryer, and yeah, it's kind of hard to appreciate the subtleties of the music and the sound effects when like you have this thing just screaming.
Yeah, like I get it.
Oh, dude, it's the worst. But hey,
Hey, that's why you have a PS5 now.
that's it.
As of right
Yeah.
now, it did say that Walmart has the most stocks of said PS5 and Xbox.
Yeah, like
So
like they're
if you
not
want to,
impossible to find. You
you
can
can find it.
you can find them. You can get them from Sony Direct, PlayStation Direct, Target, Best Buy. Like, I think they are well aware that they will be able to sell as many of these things as they can produce.
Yeah.
They staggered the release of this console around the world, so like they're producing these things to be sold all over the place. You know, you can find one if you really want to. Do not pay $1,000 or $2,000 for these things. It's not
do
worth that. Like it really is not. Your FOMO is just keep that money in your pocket. But if you're interested, I mean, I definitely see that these are going to be strong platforms and supported for some time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm planning on getting mine around January when everything kind of dies
Yeah.
down.
I
Everybody
think
has
that's
got some
gonna be
time
a
to
good
work out the
time.
kinks. I think that's a good time too. Yeah. But
My other pro tip would be like I got one of the digital ones. Mostly because like I just not really about like that disc life anymore. But I do understand that like look, it costs like $100 more for the one with the disc, but you'll probably be able to save yourself more money and time because like you can go to a Target or a Best Buy and get a game on sale or a GameStop
correct.
and
And they still
or
have the
trade them with
CDs.
friends.
Yeah.
Right. You can resell them if that's what you're looking to do. So, in the long haul, it might be better for you to spend that extra $100, you know? And
Hey.
hey, and another thing too is like, hey, if you wait long enough, they'll probably put more storage in these things. Cause that is
They
like
definitely will.
one thing that's like, yeah, like is definitely lacking on on both consoles, but definitely more on the Xbox Series S and the PS5 consoles. Like it's just you literally could run out of space in 3 games. The way things right now.
All right, let's get some price because I do wanna get some people with some kind of some good hard drives to pick up, the ones that don't fail. We use this specifically for video editing and photo editing, but you can get 2 terabyte minis. Let's see the rugged. This little orange thing will not die. This thing is so good. I've had this for like 4 years. It's still the same thing.
Right.
It's a 5 gig thing. I paid 120 for it. It was on sale, but I'm pretty sure you can find the same exact thing. But it's not a 3.1. That's the only thing. That's the older 2.0.
Yeah, like these, like if you're gonna get an external spinning hard drive, like I mean personally, I feel like the benefits of getting a 3.1 drive aren't really gonna be there for that.
Correct.
And honestly, what I would suggest at this point is like, hey, if you have PS4 games, you're gonna need to put them on that drive. You don't want to clog up the limited space you have on the PS5's SSD with PS4 games. Like, don't do that. It's still, get a USB drive. It'll hook up, stick it somewhere out the way, throw your stuff on that, and then in time you're definitely gonna need to get an an M2 drive.
You're gonna get an M2 drive. Yeah,
you're gonna need you're probably, again, unless you're the type of person who is only gonna play, I don't know, 1 or 2 games ever.
I think you'd be okay. Yeah, I think you'd be okay.
If you're gonna maintain a library, you're gonna run out of space.
Yeah.
But in due time, I feel like the price of M2 drives will come down. Definitely. So there will be options for you in the future. There just don't happen to be any options right now.
Yeah. What Sean's talking about, the M2 drives, they look like little thumbsticks about this big and really thin that goes inside the actual your PS5.
Yeah, there's like
Xbox.
a little you can, the way the console's designed, like those 2 white fins, one of them will like snap off. Like they come off, and there's actually like a little compartment to screw in your M2 drive. Again, even if you had one that would fit, and there are ones that will fit, like there is no software support for it right now because Sony's in the process of certifying the drives to make sure that the ones that you stick in there are as fast as the one that's already internal. Like they want you to have a premium experience, and like those Gen 4 those Gen 4 drives, they're like 200, 220.
They're pricey. They really are.
Yeah, for like a 1 terabyte drive, as opposed to like the one you have right there, 150 for a Gen 3. You can find Gen 3s without like good heat sinks and stuff for like $100. Which are good for PCs.
You're more rather get these than the other
ones. But for the PS5, like they want to maintain like a certain measure of performance and durability. So they got to certify those drives, and I'm sure they'll be out. I can't imagine they won't be out by like January, February.
No, it'll definitely be out. Yeah, it'll definitely be out.
Yeah. Because
they're pretty quick because consumer
people. I just feel like people will. You can fill up this drive.
Really quickly.
Yeah.
Well,
really
like quickly. I said, nothing too crazy. I was like, Sean, let me live vicariously through you for the time being.
Hey, if you want to, like I said, I'll PS5. Just let you remote play in. You can check it out from your house, I guess.
No, I'm good. However, Sean, let's are we good for Tech Tuesday? That's
man. That's it, man. That's it. That was my 20 minutes turned into.
Bro, I'm all about it, bro. Like, hey, you have the experience first for it. I know you were fine tuning it, even though you're 20 minutes. So I that was genuine feedback right there, right around. So hey, I'm expecting even better when I purchase this in January. I'm pretty sure they'll be able to work out all the kinks, maybe a couple of software updates and UI. I feel
like it'll be like, it's gonna be probably like 1-2 software updates by then.
Mostly.
At some point. Yeah.
Because
they have to nail that software thing, or at the very least give you the opportunity to kind of cold store PS5 games on like an external drive. Like if they did that, that would save you a lot of the headache because you could just move it over and then move it back. You know, and you wouldn't have to download 150 gigs or 200 gigs. Like that is, you know, some people got data caps. Like we don't have them here, at least with my cable company. But shit, if you had one,
that would suck. Really,
that could suck. You know,
imagine you're like your data cap is at 200 and you're trying to download Call of Duty at 230, and you're like, 30 more gigs.
You can call up the cable company and it's like, hey man, I really
like, hey, listen,
like, yeah, you got that Call of Duty, right? Today, you can't send any more emails the rest of this month. No text messages from mama, but we got you.
All right, let's do this, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the best food news in the market. FYI, Sean, Aldi sent me a check, so I will be doing an Aldi sponsor in a little bit. But let's do that. The best food news in the market, anywhere you can do all your podcasts here at Chef Salty Pork. But someone on TikTok made a steak in a toaster and it will haunt us for the rest of our days. Now, here's the most annoyingly and stupidly, I'm trying to make more adjectives, but those are the only two that's coming through my head. But people think that this has not been done yet. But a lot more people younger than you and I are just finding this out. Because one, they're bored. Two, they're always on TikTok. And three, they think it's like a revelation. Now, this has been a thing for forever, ladies and gentlemen. You can do this. Yes, it will work, right? But they just think it's like the new slice of fucking bread for some reason, and they're like it's like the tits. But it's not like I'm a little salty, yes, but you can cook a steak on a toaster, like maybe several times. Sure. So you just kind of just keep on going at it. In a restaurant, like Sean mentioned, we call this a salamander. We put the things on a plate in a little shelf. Heat is coming from here down, and it's the same thing. It's a glorified toaster oven, pretty much, but it just in a bigger format, so you can put a lot more stuff in it. But yeah, don't be surprised, people. It's just there's a lot more things happening.
What gets me is like we like a Foreman grill is this on its side, right? Yeah. And it's designed to be cleaned.
Yeah, but
like, I can't
like
front.
I said,
like I saw
Sean,
the TikTok earlier this week. I looked at my toaster that has a compartment to pull out, and I was just like,
You like, why not?
And I was like, well, I would, if I did this, I would have to throw the toaster out. Like,
yeah, you would have to, yes.
You know, like the heat elements on the side, they would just be clogged with grease, and there'd be no way to safely clean it out. So, you know,
I've tried cleaning one out at the restaurant. It doesn't work. You just have to get rid of it.
It's just, you know, it's designed to get the toaster leavings.
This is my favorite though, Sean. You ready for this? This irks me. This gives me a vein in my forehead. Cooking steak for my boyfriend. Hashtag for you. Hashtag cooking. Hashtag chef. Bitch, you ain't no chef. We don't do this.
Hey man.
In a restaurant. But hey, that's my 2 cents. That's all I got. That's all I got. Hate me for it. Okay, I don't care. Moving on. Costco sells a pumpkin cheesecake that is nearly 5 pounds and has a spiced sour cream topping. Ladies and gentlemen, the pumpkin train has left like a month ago already. Okay, because Dunkin' and Starbucks decided to release it in September, or even like it was like mid-August. They were really releasing the pumpkin spice everything. Nobody wants to eat pumpkin anymore. But hey, who am I to say though? But a 5 pound spiced sour cream topping, it sounds delicious, but I'm gonna pass on that. It looks good though. How much is it?
$14.99.
Well, $15, ladies and gentlemen. $15. They'll get you the whole thing right there. Taco Bell is offering special deals to the end of the year, including toast. Oh my god, I cannot read. BOGO toasted cheddar chalupa boxes. This is like the all 3 package things. They haven't brought it back in a while, but I am so excited for this because I live like two minutes away from a Taco Bell, and I love it. I haven't eaten there in a while. I might do it tomorrow, but I don't know. But it's a purchase of $10, and then you can you're qualified to kind of go for it. Moving on, Walmart is selling a kit that comes everything you need to make a family-sized Twinkie. Sean, I wanted to get your opinion on this. Twinkies, you cannot purchase them anymore. I don't think so. I think they took out Twinkies, right? Did they?
I feel like we're a Google search away from knowing the real answer to that.
Are
Twinkies? I haven't tried to buy a Twinkie. Are Twinkies vegan? Is the first.
It was suspended.
Yeah,
that was
Twinkies
true.
right there.
No. Look. Suspended in 2012 when it's Donna Elsa's brand. Okay, so technically, it's still being processed.
Click that link. Are they selling old like that? That says pick up today.
Hold on.
Nah, yeah.
Hold on.
Dude, when is this article from?
What? I have no idea when this article is from. It seems like a spam, though. I'm not gonna go for it.
Yeah, man. I guess it's inconclusive whether or not. No, come on, look.
Would you make a big ass Twinkie,
baking kit? If they're selling a baking kit, they're definitely selling Twinkies that you can consume.
But I'm pretty sure they took it off the shelves, Sean. Like I'm pretty sure it's not
maybe
there
they didn't.
No more.
They brought it back. Like I think again, to anyone listening to this, I'm sorry.
No, we're not gonna get sponsored by Twinkies.
If you find a Twinkie out there, just send us an email or
there you go.
Or
send
tweet.
it to us, please. I will give you my address.
Just
I will send it.
Send me a picture of you with a Twinkie, and if you buy
eat it live.
I will cash app you back.
We will eat it live. It's technically just what is it? The God damn it, the yellow loaf, Sean. Words are not coming to my brain right now.
Pound cake?
The pound cake.
The yellow loaf.
So the yellow loaf, the pound cake. You take a pound cake and you stuff cream in the inside of it. That's pretty much what it is. But Twinkie, all hail you. I wasn't really big into the Hostess brand, except for oh my god, the cinnamon roll with icing on it. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, it's been a while, Sean. I don't really eat these anymore.
Yeah, man.
But hey, Twinkie, shout out
down for
the
bear
baking
claw.
kit. Oh my god. Pringles is releasing a scorching line of chips that includes 3 new spicy flavors. I think people are now over just, regular
Shout
flavors.
out to that design on that
Yo,
can.
look at this, man.
Dude, that is very clever. Very clever.
I would buy one just for the fucking can. This is great. BBQ flavored saborizado, cheddar, naturally and artificial flavored con sabor. Oh, they have the Spanish translations on that. That was like the actual flavor of it. Are you a Pringles fan? Did you used to eat Pringles like a lot?
I'm coming up, like my folks didn't really like buy Pringles, but like if I went to like the bodega and they had Pringles,
would you go for
Get some
Pringles?
Pringles.
Yeah.
I would
Not
do it.
Takis?
It wouldn't be an everyday thing. Like I was more of like a Lay's chip type of dude. You know what I'm saying? Buy some, New York, so we buy our Wise chips. Nowadays I'm a Hers chip type of guy, but I could deal with a Pringle from time to time.
I was a Takis dude. I love Takis.
Okay.
Oh my god.
Okay, Takis.
That was like the second thing I purchased while when I first came over to the States in Queens. I was like, what the hell is a Takis? And I was like, yeah, try it. It's pretty good. It's like spicy. I was like, this is not spicy. This is just amazing. And that was like in a corner of bodega. Moving on, Sean. What is this? Don't leave Trader Joe's without trying at least one of these products. Now, at some point, Trader Joe's gonna have to shout me out too. Gonna cut me a damn check. But we have some of this in house. This is the everything bagel seasoning I was telling you about, Sean.
Okay.
Delicious. Highly. Just vet this out like top 3. The cauliflower gnocchi is like their thing. They're like the first
time we went to Trader Joe's, I thought I'm pretty sure we got like butternut squash gnocchi. Yeah, it was good. It was good.
It's delicious. This thing, however the hell they made this, hey, big ups. The JoJo's not too crazy about this, but the peanut butter made with flax and chia seeds, yo, it's like, what did they put in it? It's just delicious. Now, granted, you are paying a bit of a premium to have some of these items because they are making these like straight up handmade and their own packaging and everything. However, it is truly great. If you haven't been to a Trader Joe's near you, I highly suggest going after 12 p.m. Now, just depending on where your area, the one over here by 17 where we are in New Jersey, it's a little less populated after the noon time. If you go there before like 11 a.m., bro, lines swamped. But after that, it's a little more easy breathing. Dunkin' is releasing a ton of new items for the holidays that you'll actually want to wear. Now, Sean,
Yeah,
they're releasing merch, bro.
Dude, I saw this on my Twitter feed, and look,
I would rock this so
those
bad.
Joggers, man. Those joggers.
I would rock this so bad. Yeah.
Like I yeah.
You got a hoodie? Look, oh, come on, man.
He's good. Yeah, the hoodie is tight. Like I'm not gonna wear it outside, but
I'm not gonna wear it outside. I would rock this.
I would rock that. Like, look,
I would rock this.
They picked the right people to model these clothes, man.
Oh man, her hair like just fits with the fucking aesthetic of that. But shout out to Dunkin' for their merch. Yeah, I'm straight up gonna check out these joggers. Like if they're on sale, bro. If they're like $30, you might.
It's really, really interesting the time that we're in, right? Where like these brands, you know, mean so much to us that we're willing to evangelize for them. Like, and especially when it comes to brands that are not synonymous with clothing.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
hey.
Like it's a very, very interesting time where again, like I would consider rocking some Dunkin' joggers, and I don't even drink coffee, but like the color blocking is interesting. Like this is very, 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 very cool.
Do you think Starbucks is gonna come back with like the barista, like fucking apron? That you can like purchase,
I think they could get that off. I mean, there was like a time not so long ago where people were like, ironically, I guess, or maybe even unironically, wearing like work shirts for places they never worked at, right? Like with someone else's like name badge too, you know. So maybe someone wants to like really like wear a Starbucks apron and not get paid for it.
I'm just trying to rock. I'm just trying to rock a jogger.
One of those people, but look, them Dunkin' joggers, yo,
they can get it. You can get a free Popeyes chicken sandwich right now with a minimum of $10 purchase. I believe this is it's running through this Sunday till November 15th. However, all stores participating. That's like the key thing to this. But yo, their chicken sandwich is fire. I love Popeyes. I've always been a big fan. I really don't eat fast food so much anymore. Once in a blue moon maybe, or when my wife brings home like a Chick-fil-A or something. I was like, you know, absolutely. Other than that, I will just make the food because, you know, we can cook and all that. Skittles is releasing gummies candy in original and wild berry flavors next year. I just thought this was interesting. They're moving on from the hard shelled one into the little gummies. And the same flavors and all, but hey, I'm all for it. A Cheetos cookbook is here. Sean, this is real. And it includes recipes from some of your favorite chefs like Anne Burrell. So people like that had made like this little, they make like a Cheetos like baked mac and cheese or some shit. Like it would be on this book or whatever. Like this one is from Anne Burrell because I remember this dish. But that's insane. They have a cookbook, bro. Cheetos. I maybe I need to make a need to make a cookbook.
I feel a whole bunch of different ways about this.
I don't know, man. Maybe it's just some merch. Like I would rather purchase merch.
Yeah. It's a cookbook. Look, I guess the reality is like food is like language, and by that I mean like it doesn't stay stagnant, right? Like there was a time where people would only think of Cheetos as just a snack. And there was a time where people thought that Cheetos fingers was a sign of unrefinement. But now we live in a time in which
We're a cookbook.
accomplished chefs can sprinkle whole Cheetos on some mac and cheese and bacon and get paid big for it. So
Hey,
shout out to Cheetos.
shout out to
Shout out to them
Cheetos.
chefs. Shout out to putting bacon in anything.
Reese's holiday lights are back in stores, so you can eat them while you decorate your tree. This is a limited run item. Usually during this time of year, they will only release these little things.
I've never seen those before.
It's
That's
really cool. No, you remember these? Liz was wearing one of them. Remember?
Oh yeah. Shout out to Liz. You're absolutely right.
shout out to Liz.
I do remember that. Yeah.
So these are those. You can get them only this time of year, but really, really cool aspect. And I would definitely eat them if I wasn't allergic. And then finally, my boys, Aldi is selling all the ingredients you need to cook up a Turkey Day feast for under $30. Sean, bro, Aldi's just pushing it out. Hey, also make the check viable to the Gonzalez family. But any Aldi shopper knows the grocer is committed to affordable prices that only get more thrilling when the holiday season rolls around. You can make a Thanksgiving meal for just about under $30. So I think they have like pre-purchased packages. They can just buy like there's like an 8-ounce thing of mashed potatoes, like a 5-ounce thing of pie. Like everything's kind of already put together. You just kind of heat it up and then you eat it all under $30. And I think you might get like a quarter breast and like a leg or something for $10 or something. But yeah, that's it. Not too crazy. Like I said, it is ever so changing. This is the second half of this COVID thing. Now it's on a cold season though. How would we react and how can we be better to it? Now, like I've told you, here in the state of New Jersey, our governor just released you cannot stay anywhere past 10 p.m. And indoor and outdoor has been not necessarily expanded or decreased, but there's some little lines that are happening that can, maybe limit you or give you a little bit more space. But this is all hearsay for now. The governor might just go ahead and shut it down. I believe there's a governor. I don't want to say it's somewhere out west, maybe Utah or like Wisconsin or something. They just shut down like for 2 weeks. They're out. You can't do anything. It's mandated. So that might happen. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, they're talking about here in the city, like closing the schools again.
Mm-hmm. So, hey, we'll never know. Maybe it'll be a mandate here because we're so terrific here in the East Coast. we're like the worst, bro. It's like the East Coast or LA. It's like one of the two. It's just
we got all the people. We got the majority of the people living here. Yeah, man, it's getting cold. This virus is real. You have to stay safe. Wash your hands, wear your masks, wear some gloves, I guess go out only when you have to.
Yep.
And try to keep the people, in your circle accountable as well. And if we all do that, hey, maybe we can, keep some more people alive.
Keep some more people alive and prolong ours in the long run too. Like I said, we are live every time that we go on. At least we try to. This time on a Friday. You can check all our episodes right here on Chef Salty Pork on YouTube, MetroCard X. You can hit up Sean on Twitter. He does reply. Hey, I mean, like seriously, like tweet him out. I do have my Twitter too. Well, let's not get into that. I don't really use it. And then any questions, any concerns, and anything specifically food related or just any tech related that you want to discuss between Sean and myself, you can hit us up right there at AskChefSalty@gmail.com. But other than that, like Sean mentioned, wear your mask, don't be stupid, don't touch people, wash your hands, and support your mom and pop shops because
hey, big up to that.
like statistic right now, it's a little more unearthing. 40% of restaurants will not make it into the new year. 40%. 40%. That's half of your restaurants that you would know on the top of your head. So think of 10 restaurants, 4 of those gone. So yeah, it's a hard little. I was gonna say it's a hard knock.
Hey, it is. But let's say, look,
It is.
It's the cliche because it's real, man. Like,
But other than that, though, from Sean myself,
peace out, internet.